Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the new release Thursday. I guess it is Doomsday. And yes, we do have Doom. We're going to take a look at that on Steam Deck. We're going to take a look at it on Legion Go running Steam OS. And if we're lucky, it'll have downloaded onto the PC by now, and we can take a look at it on a 4090 if we want to do that. But then we've also got new titles beyond that, and we'll take a look at those right after. So give me one sec here. I'm just making sure we've got everything running. I had to redo something with the Steam Deck, and hopefully, instead of having no signal, we'll get some signal. I can't tell which one it's supposed to be running. I think that's the actual PC. Let me see. It's saying no signal at the moment, but it should come up here in a second. I just got to make sure we're on the right one. Hope everybody's doing well. We will do some Elden Ring afterwards. Also, turn that down. That music, boy, that thing can be really loud. Yeah, we're going to do some Elden Ring afterwards. It's the continuation of Under the Capitol. We just did beat Moog and the Omen, so that'll be directly after this. It'll just roll you right over to that stream as well. So let's see. So yeah, we do have Doom, the Dark Ages we're going to take a look at today. We're also going to take a look at a very simple racer, Super Engine GT that was sent over. We'll probably take a look at I Am Legion Stand Survivors because we didn't get a chance to look at this last week, so we're going to take a look at it this week. Towerborn, this is another Microsoft Xbox release. I think it's available on Game Pass already. Void Sales. And I believe that might be it. Yeah, those 5 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and the big one 5. And then hopefully we can get that done by about 12:50-ish. Or no, sorry, 11:50-ish. And then we'll jump over to Elden Ring, which will start at noon. So my time, Pacific time. So might as well start with Doom. Where do we want to start? Let's do this. Let's make sure that I'm going to flip over to the other side and let's see if we can't get. There's the Legion Go, right? That's the Legion Go, correct. And make sure that I just need to make sure there's audio for it. Or are we getting that? Because we get this weird thing every once in a while. Yeah, where the Legion Go actually plays its audio. This is with Steam. So this actually is a Legion Go running Steam. And sometimes it gets the audio to only play on the device, but then you got to go in and tell it like, hey, we want it on the external device. So it's working there. Let's make sure that our Steam Deck is working now. And with that, I think it's this one. Is that the Steam Deck? Yes. But I can't hear the Steam Deck though. Oh, I know why. Because I had to redo the Steam Deck. We just need to tell it that the audio should be pumping out. Give me 1 second. Let me find that. I think it's here. Isn't it? Yeah. It just needs to output the audio. There we go. Okay. Everything should be working. Let's just test our big PC. Yep. Okay, cool. So we can now flip pretty quickly between. Let me make one more change so we have that ready to go for the Steam Deck. And that is Steam Deck OLED. Cool. That just allows me to manipulate it with the various keypad that I have here. Okay, cool. So we can take a look at the Steam Deck first. I think that probably would be the one to go with since probably everybody's curious how well that runs. And the premiere just went off for the Legion Go. So if you do want to check out how it's performing on the Legion Go, just look on the channel Factor of Games on YouTube, and there was a premiere that happened just prior to going live. So let me make sure my Bluetooth controller is connected to my Steam Deck. I had to use it. I've been changing the way I do some videos. And I'm using more of a Bluetooth controller than holding it because I noticed how much the videos bounce with this desk system that I have here. And it only made sense to stop kind of doing it the way I was. Okay, I'm going to have it forget this. And we'll see if it can find it again here. There we go. If you haven't, and you are a Steam user, you may want to change your password today. There was a slight weird thing that got out. No personal information. Hey, Irumist, how are you? No personal information got out from Steam, but they did have a issue where phone numbers and a temporary code for each one that only lasts like 15 minutes were sent out or were able to be scraped. Obviously, the codes don't work after 15 minutes, and this was a while ago. But if you are a Steam user, it's a good idea. Just go in, reset your password. You know, connect up to your mobile phone if you don't have the authenticator. That's a good thing. And you can even do face on an Apple, for example. You can even do like face unlock or whatever now on Steam. So it's a good idea. Hey, thank you for the Prime subscription, Irumist. Well, and thanks. Good to see you. Okay, let's take a look at Doom on the Steam Deck. There's nothing you need to run specifically to get this going. Compatibility is already there. The game runs right off the get-go, supports controller. We're going to be using a control pad here. And we'll just go ahead and start it up. And you could see on the Legion Go, it has a little bit more power. It was running, you know, somewhere between like mid 50s to like upper 70s. That's kind of where it bounced around. We'll see how it does on the Steam Deck. I will be putting the video out after today around, you know, a few hours after the stream ends. So maybe like 6 o'clock once we're done, you know, maybe around 3, 4 o'clock. So you'll have a video for it running on the Legion Go as well as running it on the Steam Deck itself. Now there is a shader install that we have to do. So we are going to have to let it run for a few minutes, most likely, but we can talk through that and just see how it's running. There we go. Now it's moving forward. It's a little bit more than just this, though. You've got to do the shader update, which, depending upon how you address that, it might take a little bit longer. Here is one thing that you have to do. You have to click play in this scenario, and you have to do it from the touchscreen. So I'm doing the touchscreen thing now. There we go. And that's the only time you have to mess with that. And being that it's right on the, you know, the face, it's easy. You were looking at ROG Ally X? Welcome, Jesse. How are you? You know, those Doom games get a little loud. Okay, let's turn that down just a bit. I will tell you this. The ROG Ally X is a nice device. It's probably expensive right at this point in time. I think it's somewhere like maybe $650, $750, something like that, $799. So it is a little bit pricier, and it's not a huge leap above the Legion Go. So if you were interested, you could possibly, you live in the US, Jesse? I never asked you that. If you live in the US, you might be able to go to Best Buy and find like a returned, like somebody bought it and returned a Legion Go. They seem to have a lot of those, and they run around $400. You could then drop Steam OS on it, and you have a great device. And it's the better processor. It's the Z1. It's got 16 gigs of RAM. And it runs, as you can see, Doom the Dark Ages, you know, the previous one that was just going on the premiere, ran it between 55 and 80, you know, roughly 55 and 80 frames for the new game. So give me a sec here. Let's see. We need settings. We'll go in and we'll put everything to low just to start off with so you can see that. So We don't need the resolution to be that low. Jacques Portcom? Is that it? Did I get that right in one shot? Welcome. Thank you for the follow over on Kick. So I'm going to put this as 16 by 9 because we're using the capture card here, but of course it does support 16 by 10. And I'm going to do 1280 by 720 because that's roughly what you'd expect. Let's see, vertical sync, we can leave that. Let's see, there is a FSR support. I think it's maybe a little bit further down. I'm looking for it right now. Yeah, FSR right there. So you do have FSR support. I'm going to have it on ultra performance, and then everything else should be set to low. And we'll see how it runs there. I mean, obviously for Doom, we're looking for it to run somewhere around 60 frames per second. If you try to run the game at 30, it is a little rough. I will say that. Now, the only thing I want to check is, let me look and see that we don't have it limited. Oh, I have to get off the screen. So yeah, we do have it set for there. We're allowing tearing. Everything else. Okay, we should be pretty good there. Now, it probably will have to do that. Let me just see. What may happen here is that we might have to let it run, or we'll see what it's going to do. If it's not performing optimal, then it's probably doing the shader update in the background. We'll see. Oh, you live in California? Yeah. Oakland. Yeah, I would definitely check Best Buy. See, they could even have like a ROG Ally X, that's been returned. My goodness, is it dark? Give me one sec. We have this every once in a while with games that are essentially running like HDR potentially, and I can't set my system to HDR because of YouTube. But let me just verify. We might need to turn up the brightness. Okay, HDR is turned off, but that doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it kicks it in regardless. System versus, back end. Okay, nothing there. Let's see, where is our... Is it under the UI stuff? It usually is under... Nope, it's not there. Where's brightness? Man, that's really dark. Monitor. Video is where it should be, I would think. Sharpening, film grain, upscaler, FSR, sharpness, frame gen's on. Is gamma gonna be it? I guess it is. I can't even get it to go higher. It's not even barely visible. Let's see what it does. I had to pump it up on the okay. It's so dark. Where in the hell am I? I'm gonna fire. Okay, we may have to restart. Or it's just the fires causing this. Give me a sec. Okay, there we go. I might have left off in a very dark area, but we also may be having an issue here. I think maybe the shaders haven't loaded yet, so give me a sec. It's not that dark. I can tell you that. Okay. Let's go and check that. It didn't give us the requirement to do that like it did on the Legion Go, so I'm guessing maybe it's missing it right now. We might have to restart it. Because there was a specific setting that it asked for. And it's definitely running well below where it should be. So I'm thinking it's loading all the shaders in the background. It took a few minutes. Let's just quit out and we will restart. Okay, give it a sec. Let's go back in. Sometimes it happens. We'll definitely throw the Legion Go on after this, so you can see that one as well. You can use a controller and glasses with the Legion. Yes. Yep. It does support the what do they call that? I forget what they call their glasses, but there's two different. They have the original pair that you could get when the Legion Go came out, and then they have a new thinner, lighter pair that you can get as well. That they run maybe $2.99 on sale. I've seen them as low as like 219, and you don't even have to have an external controller. You can just do what I do, where you can even. It's gonna not pick up because we have that stuff running, that background thing. Give me one sec. I use the battery pack that you can buy officially from them or from Amazon, right? That's made for it, and this is what it looks like. It's like an adapter that connects the two controllers together, and it charges them at the same time. So you can buy that, and then you don't even need to buy an external controller. You can just have that controller. Just take the wings off of it. All right, there we go. All right, let's see if that Doom. I think it's skipping over it. I saw it pop up and then it just disappeared. We may have to adjust this really fast. Let me go and find where shaders are, because it's running laggy on the Steam Deck. And that tells me it's probably doing that stuff in the background. Scaling, backgrounds, texture. Nope, not there. Not there. That's your controller. That's your movement. We've already looked in here. Enable controller. Let's do this. I'm going to go in. I'm going to quit out one more time. We're going to add in. Unfortunately, the Legion Go, it did it properly. Everything went through, and again, it was running SteamOS as well. But I don't know if they did an update last night that I wasn't aware of. So I'm going to put in hotfix. Usually that will right whatever's wrong initially here, especially for new release. An X-Real Pro ships in June. Oh, very nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, I can tell you that the Legion Go, I've been pretty happy with it. You can still, manage your TDP. So you can have it run at like 15 watts, you can have it run at 30 watts, or you can have it run wide open at like, 35 or 40 or whatever it gets up to. So it's a versatile device. Just, the Steam Deck is nice, but the Legion Go, if you like to tinker around with things a little bit more, it's not a bad little device. And now that they support, Lenovo and Asus devices with SteamOS, then it is a better experience. SteamOS is a much better operating system and front end in Steam, obviously on SteamOS is a better front end than anything that they could come up with. Some of that stuff, those, whatever they call them, the ROG Ally Crate and the Legion Go, whatever it is, some of those can be like really awkward to use. I think there's something going on here. It's loading. It's loading it, but it's pushing it to the back. So I think they're still loading, but I can't see the progress. Let's do this. We're going to start a new game really fast just to see what it's going to do. I'm just going to start whatever. That's fine. Difficulty setting. Yep. Combat assist. That's fine. Let's make sure there's nothing here that says anything about that. It still feels sluggish. Like it's still loading in the background somewhere. Now, we were getting, like I said, easily on the cutscenes on the Legion Go running SteamOS, we were getting like 60 frames per second. So let me see if I can skip through this. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know what it's doing. It's not even able to play here. I didn't have a chance to check Steam Deck last night since I did that one first.
The Slayer has been activated.
Okay, let's do this. Let's test another. I don't think it's going to have anything to do with Proton because I didn't have to choose any Proton on Linux or on SteamOS for Legion Go. Let's do experimental. And let's just see what it's going to get. If it's going to get us any further. If not, we'll jump over to the Legion Go so you can kind of see it running on there. And then we'll leave it run in the background on the Steam Deck and see if it loads shaders. And by the time we're done, we'll see if we can go back and, you know, see what happens. Sometimes you have some weird stuff with the Steam Deck. Steam Deck is really normally really good, but you know, there are some things I think that Microsoft does sometimes with their games too. Excuse me. All right, let's see if experimental did anything for us. Oh, you fly a lot. Okay, so yeah, that would be nice to take along. Steam, you know, yeah, I think probably what we should do. Let's just quit out. Let me take it offline. Let's let it run while we look at the Legion Go and see if we can't figure out what's going on. So I'm going to take off any of the compatibility, and I'm going to put this thing into offline mode. So give me 1 second here. Oop. Oh, I think it's on my wired internet, but that's fine. We can just take it here. Okay, cool. And let me just start it up. We're going to let it run. We'll see if it's actually the shaders that are doing that, and if they need to it took about 5 to 6 minutes for it to do it on the Legion Go, which is what we're taking a look at now. So this is the Legion Go running SteamOS. You can kind of see that over here. Here's the versions that we're running. Oops, I'm sitting over top of it, but you can see we're running 3.8. It is on the, oh, what is it on here? The beta channel for it. So you will notice there's nothing that we had to do extra, no compatibility. It already picked the appropriate, you know, controller from id. And we're going to do it on this device. And you can even tell when you're playing it on the device itself, on the Legion Go, you can even see that it is a Legion Go device now because Steam has added that in. Can I select play or do I have to touch the screen? No, you can use the trackpad to get through that. So we'll see the performance here. Now this one's already ran through all the shaders, done all that last night before I recorded the video. And it took, like I said, 5-6 minutes for those shaders to fully load. And it was using all 8 cores. So it was under a lot of like stress to get it done, which most of the time shaders do that. So that could be what we're seeing on the Steam Deck right now. So we'll let it do its thing on the side here. I'll keep an eye on it. There we go. And yeah, you can see we're now 60 frames per second. This is what it looks like. You know, this is what we should have seen on the Steam Deck But like I said, I think it's still loading a bunch of stuff. So let's just start off where we were. You've been playing on PS5 Pro 1080p Plasma. Oh, very nice. Is that... Oh, it's an OLED screen. Yeah, that's what I use as the... Whoa, what is going on here? Is this the capture card doing this? It could be the capture card that's a problem. That was weird. Bug splat. Now, either they changed something overnight, because I recorded that at 2 in the morning. I don't know what's going on. Weird. I might have to try running it. We may have to pull out the top-down camera if this thing's not going to do what it's supposed to do. I recorded that video at 2 a.m. and then posted it at 6 or at 9 something or 8 something. So that mouse is playing havoc. Here we go. There we go. Let's try it again. That's really weird. Yeah, I use a ROG OLED. 42-inch OLED is my monitor. It's really nice. OLED's the way to go, man. I'll tell you. They're beautiful. I would not want anything else. Now, it does have some issues for me because I've got really 2 super bright lights above me. So sometimes things can get really dark on the screen. Like, you want it to be like super deep black, but sometimes it can be so black you're like, damn, I can't see it. Let's check the settings. Maybe I changed something here real fast. It is running 720 on here. I think I can take it up to 1080 on the Legion Go. But everything else should be the same. Ultra performance, FSR, frame gen on, all those settings. Yep. So let's try, we'll run it at 1080p. Okay, let's see now what's going on. If it's not going to run, it's probably the capture card. No, there we go. Okay. I was going to say. Now, this is Doom running on the Legion Go with SteamOS at 1080p. Crashing. Did it crash? What's it doing? Are you going to recover? It just crashed again. I don't know if it's the capture card or not. We can try it with the other way. Give me a sec. I don't know what it's doing now. I don't record them with capture card or anything like that. So when I record from the actual device, so give me a sec. Let me see if we can do that. It'll take me 1 minute to move some stuff around here. I wonder if it's seeing the Steam Deck right, even though it's offline. Let me just see. I'm going to test it one more time. I'm really curious why we were able to do and record videos just fine last night, and then this morning I didn't see an update. Yeah. Steam's saying something about like Steam Deck is saying something about like you have to be online for the first run, but I was already running it online. I don't know. Let's try it one more time. I know our room must. We'll get it there. Is Steam Deck more crash proof? Not really. I mean, yes. Well, let's just say this. Steam handles it a little bit more elegantly, and it recovers easier than Windows does when it crashes. Let's try it again. The Legion Go. We're about 50. mean, it is Doom. It feels like Doom. It sounds like Doom. And you do get the benefit. You can use the mouse controller component of the Legion Go. So if you really wanted to play it like a boomer shooter, it's possible. You know, with that other configuration. Oh. I have no ammo. I didn't even see him. Did I miss it? Oh, I see some. Oh, I see the glove. That's what we do. We do have this melee attack where you can get more ammo. No, I haven't. Now, let's see if we can pause. Can I turn this down to 1080p? Or 720p? Will it do it in real time? Or crash? Okay, now we're at 720p. Now we're running, you know, pretty much locked. It'll be close to 60. I could say that running it on the screen at 720p on the device screen, it would look pretty good. Because again, it's condensed. Far more condensed than a big screen is and streaming and all that stuff. Yeah, we're running at about 60, 61. It's bouncing around. But on the Legion Go, I mean, nice, smooth gameplay. I wonder, I still want to see it run on the Steam Deck. Do we have the key yet? What do we need here? Oh, do you have that shield? So you can do the shield bash. I'm curious. Let me try this. I don't know if I can do it on the fly. Let me see if I can take the Legion Go can be a little weird when you do use it like a first-person shooter style. You know, there's a special control way that you can handle this. So give me 1 second. Let me grab the piece for it. So with the Legion Go, you can take the right controller. There's a button on here you flip, and it essentially turns it into a mouse. And then you put it in this little adapter that they give you. So it looks like that, kind of a little bit. So it looks like a mouse on there, right? And it magnetizes to it. And then you can even take the button off the right joystick. And at that point, it becomes like a mouse, right? Like, it might be really sensitive. I don't know. I haven't tried this yet. And it may need me to tell it that, hey, you're going to be doing something different, but it's really sensitive. I don't think it's probably the right thing to do when you're just starting it up. Yeah, you can see it's like really sensitive right now because it's not looking for that. Let's do this. Let's see if we can put it back. Well, I don't know. Let's see if it'll actually just recognize it. Jesus.
There's a key in the nearby church.
Yeah.
Route
We
is the
need
location.
to restart maybe if we want to use that. So let's try that. Okay. There we go. It was all over the place. Okay, let's let it calm down. I'm just curious to see if it'll play with it. Edgar, how are you? Yeah, that's running on the Legion Go, and that's with SteamOS. Oh yeah, I love all the boomer shooter stuff. Yeah, they're always pretty good. Okay, what are you doing? Are you frozen? There we go. Let me log in again, but this time we're gonna change the controller method. I haven't tried this yet. I don't think they have full support. See how really fast it's going? Steam doesn't have full support for the drivers for this mode right here for the when you put the Legion mode, when Legion go in like first person shooter mode. So forget what I was saying. It's not going to work. I thought it might. I haven't given it a try. But yeah, we were just running it on the Legion Go, and it was performing 60 frames per second. So let's get out of here. Let's see if we can get back on the Steam Deck and see if we can get that running. I'm still curious why Steam Deck's having such an issue compared to it. It shouldn't be. Okay, let me make sure this is shut down. Yep, there we go. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to flip over here. Whoop, whoop. And let me plug the Steam Deck back in. Okay, let's see if it'll pick up again. There we go. There's the Steam Deck. Now, let's see. What is Doom doing here? I still think it has to do with the shaders, but it's not processing them. Check something here real fast. Oh, let me see. Play. I'd like to sit there and say, like, okay, let's let it just try and do the shaders, but I can't see it making progress. No, we've got a few other ones, Edgar. We've got probably 4 other games that we were going to take a look at or try to get to. Some of them are indie games that we were sent over, and then, Doom obviously was the most AAA or the biggest release out of all of them. But we do have another Microsoft one, Towerborn, and we've got a few others. I'm trying to think. There's a racing game. There is. What else is there? There's a racing game. There's a Void Sales game, which is. I don't even know how to explain Void Sales. It's a little different. And I think there's one more called Legion. It's a survivor game. So, this is the Steam Deck. I was trying to see if there's a screen in the background it's doing something. I don't see anything there. Because we should see something here on this screen. We should actually see like the Doomslayer kind of standing in the background. And it's not there right now, and I can't seem to find where the shader option is to try to have it load all the shaders at once. Or kind of force it to do that. There was an option that would pop up on the Legion Go when I was installing it, or when I was first launching the game, and it showed like, hey, you could load X amount of the shaders at one point, you could only load half of them, depending upon how you wanted, if you wanted to start playing right away or if you wanted to wait a few minutes. I don't see any options for this here. turn that off. I think. I might actually see. Can we put it on borderless? Not that that makes a difference, but sometimes you never know. Could. Everything else is the way it should be set. Shadows, reflections, water, particles, geometry. Shading qualities low. Yeah, I mean it should run. Uh-oh. Now what's it doing? We're having trouble. Can't see why it wouldn't run on the Steam Deck. Like, it shouldn't have a problem. Okay, let's... Oh. Let's exit out, and then let's just see. We tried a few of these. Let's try 9. Proton 9. Maybe it's doing something weird. Yeah, the OLED doesn't have problems usually. Like, in terms of, like, support, it's pretty good. Yeah, the old games, and welcome, Norky. Yeah, the old games run just fine on this. Like, Eternal and all that had no issues or anything like that. I don't know why the Steam Deck, I mean, the Legion Go running SteamOS is running it just fine. I don't understand why the Steam Deck's having an issue right now. I don't know. Sometimes you got to toy around with it. I wish I'd have done this device first last night and then the Legion Go, but I just wanted to get that one done, and it was the first one to download. Because then I would at least have an answer here of what's going on. So you're actually seeing like the trial and error that I go through on some games to try and figure this out. I think it's because I've put it into borderless window. I think that's what's done this in. But I wanted it to be in borderless window because I wanted to see if we could see the window behind it trying to load the shaders. But it's not doing it. So I've done this part, but we should be able to force it back. If I'm not mistaken, there's a way to force it to... There's a way to force it to try and do full screen. I think if we do native... Actually, you know what? Give me 1 minute. We're going to try to launch it without it being on the capture card. I'm a little concerned that maybe there's an issue with that. And let me see if I can just pull this up for you guys so you can see what I'm doing. It's been a while since I tested this. We used this a little bit ago. So what is it? It's eeCam. Epoch Cam. Let's see if it'll connect. There we go. Hopefully this is going to do it. And nope, wrong one. That's me. Hang on. Give me 1 second here, and I will hopefully be able to bring this up for us. Video capture. New. Add. And it should be virtual cam. That doesn't look right. Although that's what it should be. Hang on. Let me find out what it's doing here. Because we'll try to run it directly on the device. Oh, it lost it. Give me 1 second. It was working, and then it just disappeared on us. Let's see if we can get it to run now. It's a weird little app that I use so you can use the same setup that I record the videos on. It's from Elgato, but sometimes it doesn't like. It's a wireless connection and it doesn't like to run 100% of the time correctly. And this is just one of those times. And I don't have another way to do it other than this. Because it'll probably crash out my other cameras, but I'll shut it down and we'll see. No, they're still running, so that's good. And let's see, Elgato camera hub. When it works great. It's like an amazing little setup. But when it doesn't work, it's a pain. Okay, anyhow, I'm going to start Doom just to see what it does. And then hopefully I can bring the camera up for us. There we go. I see it. All right, cool. So let's see if we can capture this. Go. And 3. Oh, it's going to be a little rough to zoom. I have to go back to here. Okay, so let me see if I can grab it now. Add source. There we go. There we go. Now it's working. So yeah, we're going to try to launch it directly from here. So let's take off compatibility because it could be that there's an issue with the capture card in this. It's going to look a little blurry. Sorry, I can get a thing to bring it up. I even know I can zoom a little bit, but it doesn't work extremely well. It'll make it look really rough, but we can try zooming in. Okay, I guess that's not too bad. There we go. Yeah, this is that one screen where you have to tap. Let me go and put that down. I can use the controller from this point. You're not going to really hear it all that well. I don't even know if I shut the lights off, you'll be able to see it any better. Not really. We'll leave them on. We'll see if we can get it to launch. Like I said, it could be something weird with the capture card and the way it works. Yeah, I mean, and I'm just catching back up with chat, so I apologize, guys. I do have an Elden Ring stream at noon. Yep. Well, and you guys, if you're watching here, it'll just move you right over to that stream at noon. But to Edgar's point, yeah, nothing ever runs 100%. I mean, these are all, you are trying to get like brand new games that are not even made for the Steam Deck, not even considered for it to run on it. And it does a pretty good job. Look, I cracked the screen. Or at least the, oh, that's glass. The screen protector on top. Okay, it is trying to load. But it also looks like it's frozen. Because we should see activity here. It is trying to load in. Let's try. No. Well, no, it's actually doing something because it's changed again. It is getting a little bit more activity. Welcome, Benevolent Beetle. How are you? I don't know why the Steam Deck is having such a weird time with this. It could be that GPU is, or that GPU is just it's getting taxed too much by it trying to load this stuff. It's not moving though. Not seeing progress. So let's do this. Let's exit out and let's try. Yeah, now it's back. Okay, let's try running it with Proton Hotfix again. Let's see what it does. I don't know. Yeah, I may have to try restarting it. And we'll try rebooting it hard, doing a hard reboot on it. I just want to see if it, because it was loading at least through, hey, 30, welcome. It was loading at least through into the main menu system. Now, it didn't have everything loaded, but it was doing that. So I'm curious why it stopped. No. Okay, let's try rebooting it. So we're going to do a hard reset on it. If you just press and hold that for 10 seconds, you'll see a light pop up if you've never done this. And that's completely shut down now. And then let's boot it all the way back up. There we go. Yeah, you can try. I mean, sometimes you can try some things. It's just we're trying to get a device that's, probably slightly more powerful than the most powerful like iPhone to run some of these things. It's more powerful than an iPhone, but it's not that much more, right? Like there's not this massive difference. And developers don't build for this thing normally. Now, it's Microsoft and Bethesda, so they might have put a little bit of work into it, but normally they're not trying to build specifically for the Steam Deck. It's such a small install base right now. Sub 10 million, probably. That's still a decent amount, and it's going to only grow. Exactly. You have to reboot it. I mean, I've run into it where hard reboots occur usually on AAA stuff that's newer, right? It's not, yeah, see, now we're getting something. Okay. What we're going to do is take off that Proton hotfix. So let's do that. I didn't have to choose anything to get it to run on the Legion Go with the SteamOS OS side. So, hey, Benevolent Beetle, thank you for the Prime sub. Thank you. Appreciate it. As always. Very gracious. For the laggy, like non-working content you get here on the channel. All right, let's see. It is so. Now this Epoch Cam, this thing that is right there, it it doesn't capture at 4K. So unfortunately, we're getting like whatever it's doing, like 1080p. Maybe is it even doing that? It's not looking too great, but this is exactly how I capture the 4K stuff with the camera. I don't know. Something's gone really wrong now. I can't even get it to fire up. I don't know what to say on that. It's really strange. It must be something with the AMD chipset that's in here that they're trying to work with. I mean, the Legion Go's an AMD chipset. I've tried experimental already, but we'll give it a try again. But I would say, like, at this point, it's just not running. I'm going to try to get it to run later on today. I'll try reinstalling it, uninstalling and reinstalling it. If I can get it running, there'll be a video, obviously, that I'll put up on the channel. But yeah, for some reason, Legion Go runs just fine. This one, not so much. That's the only place where you have to click on something. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good point, Edgar. Let's try checking the integrity of the file system. So you can go in and do this. Anybody that's never messed with this, any installed files that get, corrupted or missing, you can just go in. This is even on your PC, and have like SteamOS do basically a file diff on it and see what their version has on the server versus what you have stored on your device. And if it is missing any files, then you can basically it'll just have it automatically install those missing files, or I guess it's just usually the files they're missing. It takes maybe a minute or so for it to run this. And it's just diffing the local versus the server. Yeah, no, you're right, Edgar. Yep. Will be in AR glasses with controller, so don't need the hardware ergonomics or screen quality. Um, there's still, even with AR glasses, I don't know what your resolution is going to be on that. I don't know if it's 720p or if it's 1080p. I guess it depends on which version that you might go with. Um, I haven't used uh, AR glasses recently, but obviously I use my Quest headset, Quest 3 headset with my PC. So I can tell you that you'd probably want to run it at least at the highest resolution you could, so you don't get that like screen door effect. I don't know if AR glasses have that. I can't remember, but I mean, definitely VR headsets, if you don't run it at the higher resolution, you can notice those odd things about it. So if it's 1080p, I would definitely run it at 1080p. Oh, so slow. I think those are cool though. It's a cool idea. I mean, using, like I said, the Quest 3 to run PC so I can have multiple screens and stuff like that. That's really cool to me. I like that. Okay, it's going to run the Linux runtime, Proton, additional Linux runtime, everything validated. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if I screwed it up by telling it to try and run it in borderless, and now it's stuck in some weird scenario. I'll have to go back in and redo it. Yeah, so I would hold off. I'll try and put a video up about it. Otherwise, I'll leave a post saying, if I could get it running or not. But it does run on the Legion Go just fine. If you guys want to see it on there directly on the screen, it won't look as good as the video that I took for you. But here it is. Let me just clean the screen a little bit. This is just the Legion Go body screen. That's the controller piece that I use. That's the one from them. So give me a second. I will fire that up. There we go. Yeah, and you can see this is running. It's going to be hard to see it because obviously, again, it's blurry as hell, but just the quality. But you can see very, very blurry that we are running SteamOS 3.8 on here. And I don't know if I can zoom in if it's going to help. Kind of. Not much. But yeah, you can see it's running 3.8 on the Legion Go. You do have all your other settings over here. I didn't have to use anything special to run the game on the Legion Go. No compatibility or anything. So it's really strange. I don't know what the difference is. I mean, there obviously is a difference in the chipset, but I don't know what could be causing that. Let's see. You can use the little mouse pad as well to do that. Touching the screen at all puts like fingerprints all over it. Those speakers are less than desirable. I mean, the speakers on the Steam Deck are far better than the Legion Go. I always use a Bluetooth headset or something with it. They're just really tinny compared to it. Yeah, I mean, I always look at Best Buy for some of that. Like I said, you can get ROG Ally. I know at least the ROG Ally original ones with the Z1 processor for around 500. And like I said, the Legion Go I've seen as low as 419 for the 512 gig there. So yeah, it's going to look horrible on here just because it's not able to provide us the highest quality. Let me see if I can up the bit rate. Maybe it'll help it. I don't know. We'll see. And I don't think I can use any of the other cameras. I'll see if I can. Let me see if I use the back camera 3x and then zoom out. Does that help? No, that didn't help us at all. Give me one sec. Let's try the 5x. And let's zoom in with that. Nope. These are just different options that I have for different cameras. It's not going to look as good as when I do my other videos. But yeah, it is. That's 60 frames, 74, 60 that you can see up there. I mean, in person, like my eyes seeing this, it looks really good. It's like super clean. And this is on the lowest settings with ultra performance and frame gen. They did a really good job with that. I mean, it does look nice. So yeah, it does run on SteamOS. It just doesn't run on Steam Deck right now. Now there it did drop down to 30s. But it's let's just see. I think it might be the fire that's causing that. Well, there it's up at the 40s. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's the fire causing this area to go below 50. You can do a wall scramble here. Now it's also running about 24 watts. So it's running below. Whoops. Oh, I wonder if the battery was dying. Did it die? It might have. I bet that's what it is. The battery was dying on. I did. I'd played it all last night. So that's probably the issue. Okay. All right, let me switch over. Let me get us back to where we once were. There we go. Sorry. So that was Doom. If I can get it running on the Steam Deck, like I said, I'll put up a thing. I don't know why it's not. I haven't seen anybody else put it up. I did see, ETA Prime put theirs up for ROG Ally and stuff like that, but I haven't seen it go up for the Steam Deck yet. And that could be potentially that there's an issue. I'm going to try uninstalling it and reinstalling it. We'll see if it works. There, it's starting back up. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to put the Steam Deck back over here. And we'll take a look at our next game. There we go. Yeah, I don't know why the chat's all squished. I don't know if I can fix that or not. Give me one sec. Like on this screen, the chat's always squished for some reason. And I don't think... It's just really hard to read. I don't know why. Is it locked? I think it is. Chat box locked. There we go. Can I? Nope. See, it just scales in one direction. It scales uniformly. It doesn't allow me to... Oh, my PC is running like way high right now. What's it doing? Give it a sec. It's screwed up. It's running like well over 100% right now. I don't think I can fix this. I'm not gonna worry about it. But let's see. Give me a second. I'm gonna flip over to the other screen. There we go. So, I'm not sure which device. This is the Steam Deck running right here. Okay, let's take a look at the next game. Let's take a look at Towerborn. Towerborn is another one from Microsoft that they sent over. Now, they didn't send Doom. I ended up buying Doom, just so everybody knows. But they did send Towerborn over, and it's just a review code. I don't review games necessarily. Just more or less show if they run on Steam Deck or on Legion Go or whatever. So you do what you want. If you like these games, go for them. Yeah, no, that makes sense, Jesse. What I would say is, you know, I think we talked about it a little bit. Like Switch 2 coming out is going to help all of these devices have longer lives because of the work that Nvidia, AMD, Intel will all put into supporting these smaller chipsets for longer periods of time with things like the upscalers and all of that. And all of that optimization will become more common for developers. So I think over time you'll see, like, you buy like a Legion Go, it'll last 4 years on most games, 5 years if you're lucky. I think the Steam Deck will get about 5 years out of it. And because Doom doesn't work on the Steam Deck right now, in about 3 days that'll change. I can tell you that. They will want it to work on there once they see the data and stuff like that. So for this game, I think this is the beat 'em up game. So I have it all set to low. And I've already created a little character here. So I'm just going to go with her. Oh, save and exit. There we go. And of course, this game runs just fine on Steam Deck. Runs just fine on most things.
After centuries of darkness,
it's varying degrees. Like, yes, Doom is gonna, be hit or miss, I guess, for the first few days, just like Avowed was, and just like anything else. But surprisingly, most of the Microsoft games have been really good. running
Place
on Steam Deck.
protected from the monsters that roamed this
And I think
land.
there's just something weird going on Doom for Steam Deck right now. I think it's something that they
We
can
called
fix and
it
address.
the city
Since
of
it's running on
wonders.
Legion Go, I don't see... It's something very specific. I'm excited. I'd love to hear what you think about those X1 Real, or the X Real 1 Pro glasses. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I traveled a long time ago. I would have liked to have had something like that. That was a little bit more portable than, you know,
That old
carrying.
dream, gone in an instant. Our only hope
Quest
for
3
survival
with
was
you,
to
right? Like
seek
that's
sanctuary
the size of the
here
Quest 3. That thing's
in
pretty
the
big
Belfry.
to throw in your luggage. Where I'm pretty sure what you're getting
Since
is
that
pretty
day,
small.
The Aces are the Belfry's deathless defenders.
What game is this? This is Towerborn. This is a Microsoft published game right now. I think it's available on
Your journey as an
Game
ace
Pass.
is just beginning.
and I believe this is like a kind of like a beat 'em up, side-scrolling beat 'em up. And they need you through the whatever. I'm gonna skip through this, see if we can. Sometimes, you know, the channel does get a little bit lucky here and there, and we get like games just delivered to us, and we get a chance to check them out. Sometimes we gotta buy it, like Doom. Like I said, ended up buying it today. Okay, here is a tricky thing all the time. If you're using a third, or, you know, like another controller to like do what I'm doing, where you're playing kind of not on the device. Sometimes you have to go in and reorder the controller. And sometimes it can be that you have to put this controller in player 2, which doesn't seem like it would make sense. And sometimes you have to toy around with it for a bit. So it's not working there. So let's go back in. Let's go reorder again. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, for some reason, you sometimes have to switch over. Sometimes you leave it at number 2. Sometimes it just takes like flipping it around to get it to work. So, all right. Can I return? Oh, can I move? Okay, so we do have jump. We got our phone. So, yeah, kind of like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. And we do have our way to heal. How do we heal? It's our shield. Oh, we don't have a heal. Yeah, we do. So this one, I think, like I said, it's just come out. Did it? Let me just verify. Towerborn. $24.99. No, this one came out in September. They just sent it over for whatever reason. I thought it was coming out. I think they did an update for it. But it is an Xbox Game Studio game. Sometimes we get confusing communications as well from developers and publishers. Okay, where's the enemy? Oh. Got a little bit of info from the rabbit. Oh, about our attacking. There we go. So yeah, think of an arcade like side scroller with some Dark Souls style rolling and blocking, parrying, I think, as well. Heavy attack. It's not those Souls like controls, but it feels like it. Probably sure I can even parry. Let's just see. Yep. Now, I had seen this game, but I had never tried it until they sent it over. But yeah, this is running just fine, 60 frames, so 720p. I'm going to say that this would be just fine even on Legion Go. Let's get to a save point and we can switch over and see how it looks. Okay, is he going away? And I think it is co-op up to 4 players as well. So yeah, if you're a fan of like Battle Axe or what was the other one? Oh, I can't remember, from the guys that made Alien Hominid. Castle Crashers. Similar game experience to that. One of the best ones of these, I can't remember, it was on the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. It was, I can't remember the name of it. It was a really unique looking side scroller. It was beautiful. Amazing game. It was really fun. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, though. It had magicians, mages. It was kind of set in medieval. There we go. You can even do a jump. Like I said, parry. There we go. Level up system. Okay, cool. I think I've just got to get through. Oh, I got to do 2 rolls. I'm still on the tutorial side. Oh, there we go. Power up. I just wanted to get to a spot where it was going to save that. Jumping. Or Golden Axe. I say Battle Axe. Golden Axe is what I was thinking. From the arcade days. I was just thinking, God, is it Battle Axe or Golden Axe? Golden Axe from Sega is what it reminds me of, those types of games. Knights of the Round Table from Capcom. Similar games like that. Final Fight. Oop. There we go. Dragon's Quest? Oh yeah. It's been a long time. There we go. Nice uppercut for him. There we go. Trine. Yeah, Trine's really good. Trine's a nice 3-player co-op game. That was like one of the first ones I remember. Outside of like Castle Crashers. I think they did it as well. Castle Crashers had like 4-player, but I mean, like at the same time, I think they were all kind of coming out in 2010, something like that. All right, let's see if we can beat this guy. Maybe then we can save and we can jump over quickly and see it on the Legion Go. Oh, he's got some health. The Gobo Brute. It's like fighting Moog until you get the double slash. Ah. He's just running me over now. I'm trying to parry his stuff, but it's not. I don't think you can. Let's just see. Yeah, you can. He did something. It did something. Okay, now we've got him staggered. I don't think there's a finisher. Oh, he's calling in the troops. Oh, good. They take, like, splash damage or whatever. Friendly fire. Ooh. It's got, I mean, it reminds me of, funny enough, it reminds me of a game called Overlord, just in like the music and everything, and with the goblins and stuff running around, but totally different style game. One's a 3D platformer and one's like this side-scrolling beat 'em up. Is she done talking? Does it save? I think that might be it. And then we might be able to jump over it. Yeah, I think we're going to get a cutscene. Okay. Casey did just fine. She gets her upgrades. Hold, close out, and we'll see if we can't jump over to the Legion Go really fast and try it. Again, this is running 720p at 60, so I guess that we're going to be able to run the Legion Go at like 1080p. Oh, this is the hub world. All right, let's see. B. Every time I go to a new screen, it's going to show me a tutorial. Okay. I want to go to settings. There we go. To menu. There. Now it should save right in that area. Okay. Let's see what it looks like on the Legion Go quickly. It should, like I said, should be just fine. There we go. I gotta turn the controller back on. That's the only downfall for the Legion Go. Like after a few minutes, not that it's a downfall, but like you have to turn the controllers on if they're not connected to the device. They'll kind of go to sleep even if they're on the battery thing. Let me get the audio fixed again. There we go. There we go. Oh, it's not on here. Of course, it's not on there. I would imagine that one's going to be just fine. We can just chalk it up because there wouldn't be any issue with it. It's going to run 60 frames per second. No problem. And if I try to download it on here, it's going to cause a problem. This is another Survivor game. We'll take a look at I Am Legion. This was sent over, I don't know, 2 weeks ago? We didn't get to it last week. But these, as everybody knows, they're my favorite, one of my favorite style of games, the bullet hell roguelikes. This one's a little bit more unique. You don't do anything in it. You hire people to fight around you. Hey, Cherry Man, how are you? We couldn't get Doom to run on my Steam Deck, so I got to take a look and see what's going on. Yeah, we just couldn't get it working. I need to figure out what's going on. It works just fine on the Legion Go with SteamOS on it, but it had an issue with it wouldn't load the shaders or it wouldn't load something, and now it just crashes. So I have to uninstall and reinstall it. So I don't know what's going on with it. So no changes you have to do on I Am Legion. And this is your character. Kind of a normal putsy guy. But he doesn't do anything. So it's kind of unique in that way. So you have basically fighters that you hire. So you move around while they do all the work, and they have the different levels of, you know, combat that they do and the way they deal damage, projectile or like melee. This kind of guy right here does like this lunge melee. I don't know. That's what I'd call it. But if we go up here, we upgrade, and then we can hire more guys to fight for us. We can hire fire elements. We can hire shield. We can hire office workers, which I forget what they do. They do magic or something like that. Let's do fire. So as you play, you're obviously just being, you know, a barrage of enemies. And then you just go through and do your upgrades. So you can have up to, I think it's 7. Is it 7 or is it 8? Different types of, or all the same or different types of fighters around you. And then you start upgrading them by combining them as they go. Let's do the revolver. He's like my favorite one here. He shoots really fast, and well, in this level he doesn't shoot as fast, but he shoots and auto targets all of the guys, so it makes it pretty nice. But yeah, your guy never actually does anything. It's kind of a take on Soda Pop Dungeon, except it's not an RPG, it's an action bullet hell. You can get new weapons and new equipment for each of your fighters, which I think it auto assigns is how it works. Let's see. Oh, we got our next upgrade or new person going to join. But yeah, these games are not going to tax any of these machines. Let's see. We got machine gunners, archers. Let's throw an archer in there. Let's throw a electrical element in there. Another revolver guy so we can show the upgrades. So what we'll do is we'll upgrade this guy. Oops. This guy. With the other guy. Since they're 1 star, now we have a 2 star. And then you'll be able to do that upgrade again. And then you can combine the 2 stars to make a 3 star and then so forth. So yeah, it's very much just like any of the other Survivor style games. It's just got its own little twist on it, which is pretty fun. I've been playing around with it here and there. Not putting a ton of time into it, but more time than I'd like to say. Because I always play these games. I'm a sucker for them. Let's do a fire elemental. So you can see now we've got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 7. And I'm going to upgrade a few of these guys. Combine them, and we'll combine our archers. Now we got 2 stars. Can do some equipment. And obviously combining everything gives you more ability to fight these guys. Is it a dungeon crawler? Not really. It's like a action roguelike, and it's more along the lines of like arena horde mode than it is anything. I mean, you could claim it's like a dungeon crawler. There are some of these that look just like Doom, right, and like literally have the same ideas, but you're not necessarily upgrading the equipment. You're adding in like just auto targeting upgrades and stuff like that. Like, I'm not controlling, I'm not like aiming at any enemy. I'm just moving the guy around, and I'm just choosing the upgrades. That's all it is. I don't aim, target, or anything. You can have various different types of these games. Sometimes you get some where it is manual, like aiming and stuff like that you got to do. But this one is all auto targeting. It's very much like sit back, relax. Let's take this guy, and let's take another one of him, and another fire element. So that's about the max that you can have. And then what happens is the next guy that you would get, if you have all, what is it, 8 of these, they would just go into your reserve, and then they would get pulled up as you would lose people. But we're not going to use 8. We're going to use these guys to upgrade each other. So now we have 2 2-star, and now we'll turn it into 1 3-star. There we go. And that's about it. We got an upgrade right away, but I don't know. Sometimes you won't find exactly what you want. We'll take this fire one, and then we'll upgrade the fire ones together. But yeah, now we have a 3-star like gunner. So he has longer range, he's quicker, stuff like that. And then what you can do is we'll open one of these doors. So let me see here. And then when you open the door, you get a chance to like add another buff or something like that. So I'm going to add like where you automatically regain some health. And the only health we're talking about is the main guy's health. None of your guys that float around you take damage. Only you do in the center. Let's see. And you usually, I mean, if you're playing this, usually your runs last, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes sometimes. And then once you get going, it can take 45 minutes usually to beat the game. Not this game specifically, but most of them. Once you've really got like a super powerful
character, independent upon what the requirements are to get through each level. Like there's some that Vampire Survivors is a good example. Like you play Vampire Survivors, it can take up to 2 hours, and it can get super intense and like kill the processor on any computer or a majority of computers because there's so many enemies on the screen at one time. It's kind of a cool little game. But yeah, this one, they sent this over. So this is just an example. It plays fine on Steam Deck. No issues there. But let me get out of this. We'll let this... Let's see. Can we do another upgrade? We can do... Let's do an office. Well, no, we can't do that. Hold on. We're just going to take this one. See if we can get an office worker. Yeah, there we go. So there's an office worker. And the next time I go in there, we should be able to pull... I guess I could have done the fires. Yeah, let's go do the upgrade. If I went and put the fires together, we could have added in the office worker. So give me 1 second. We'll do that, and then we'll bring the office worker up from the back stock. And office worker is supposedly magic. I think he just throws his attaché case or briefcase at things. Yeah, you can sit there, like, I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm just gonna let my guy die, but... And then it'll basically tell you all at the end of the, you know, how well you did and all your stats and data that you need to grow. That's a cool little game. These are really fun. They're usually super cheap, like $5. This one's probably less than 5. What is this one? I am Legion. Most of them run between like $5 and $10. This one's $8.99, and it's from Gamer Sky Games. So let's get out of this. Oops, and let's take a look at. Do we want to take a look at Super Engine GT spec? This is like a little. I have this on the Steam Deck, so let's switch over to Steam Deck. Now, Steam Deck, whoops, let me shut that one down. Yeah, there we go. So, Super Engine GT, this is very early on. Oh, it's not even installed here. It must be installed on my PC because I was playing it. Let me pull that up. So this is on the 4090. It's a little overkill for this game. There we go. This game was sent over. Now, you'll most likely see a lot of games, and we've seen that probably already, a lot of games coming from China that have started to move over since, you know, there's been an opening of like Steam in China, which they weren't in for many years. They've been in there for quite some time, but they really haven't gotten a lot of traction. But Chinese developers putting their games on the US servers and allowing us to be able to purchase them has brought an influx of new Chinese developers into the Steam platform. So I believe these guys, they may not be based in China, but it's opened up a lot of like Asia Pacific, right, as well, to really start looking at Steam as a viable platform. And I think these guys are based over somewhere in Asia Pacific.
3, 2, 1.
But this is more like a take on RC Pro-Am. Very similar if you ever played that on NES. It's actually a really simplistic driving game. I even have to look and see if it's available yet. It may still be coming this week or next week. but it has, you know, more like slide mechanics, not graphically intense at all. Any of these machines can easily run this, but it does have that kind of RC Pro-Am feel. Oh. Super simple driving game mechanics. Not even like, there's not even like the kart racing style. Oh, he's gonna T-bone me. There we go. Do a little slide instead of the break and slide. I guess this would be more like an arcade style racer, right? Like truly arcade style mechanics that you would have had a wheel, top down, in this case 2/3 perspective, gameplay mechanics. Oop, I took that break too soon. Threw myself off. I don't think we're catching. If there was only like oil spills and like upgrades in the middle of, oh, he's really got the back corner of my car. If there were upgrades on the track that you could run over and instantly get a boost. There's a really good one, Horizon. I think it's Horizon is what it's called. Not Forza Horizon. Horizon Racing. I'd have to look it back. It's in my my library, but it's got really good mechanics. It feels like you're playing like Outrun. It's another good, interesting style. You can see a lot of this game is very early on. Like they have not added in a ton of stuff at all. It's very basic. It's just more along a kind of quick time waster. It was probably almost a mobile port would be my guess. I'm curious. Super Engine GT. It's $4.99. And it came out yesterday. Yeah. But yeah, very, very basic game. Not super frilly. It's just, if you wanted to play, I think you can unlock cars as well. Yeah, and each car has kind of like its own, you know, own different variations of like engine versus tire, grip, and things like that. But it's very light. It's not a simulator. It's an arcade style game. So those folks that sent that over, that was from East Asia Limited. And let's see. And then Void Sales. Now, Void Sales is a mouse and keyboard game. I'm going to run it. Well, I don't have it installed on here. Do I have? It's kind of like Rail Gods of Hysteria. It doesn't really run great on these devices without a mouse and keyboard. Let's give it a try though. We're going to try running it on the Steam Deck. Oh, Steam Deck. God, one of these days I'll run my machine correctly. There we go. That is the Steam Deck, right? Or is it the Legion Go? No, Steam Deck. Give me one sec. I think me flipping it around screwed it up. Sometimes if I'm like hitting those buttons left and right, sometimes it doesn't work. And if I might have to plug in a mouse and keyboard to really play this one. You can configure any game. If you don't know this, you can configure any game to run this. I think we talked about it last week. If you go into the controller configurator, you can basically tell the controller, the Steam controller, Steam Deck controller, how to manage a game. Even if it's only made for mouse and keyboard, there's templates for it. You can find community layouts up here, which there are none for this game right now. But usually there's customization. Like if we look at Let me think of a really solid game that isn't built for mouse and keyboard. Do I have any installed on here? Probably Schedule 1 because it's so popular. I don't think originally it was mouse and keyboard. Or it was anything more than mouse and keyboard. But if we go into community layouts, you can see like people have built their own layouts for that game that you can just download. So if you've never done this or if you're new to it, it is a very useful thing. Sometimes you can even make your own templates and upload them so people can download them. Sometimes it takes a few days, sometimes it takes a few weeks for a game to really start to get a community layout gathering, right, of people like putting effort in and building games or building a controller layout that works well for games. V Rising, I think, was another one until they added controller support in. Used to be mouse and keyboard, but now I think controller support's in there, but you can see there was a bunch of controller methods put in years ago when the game launched that would allow it to play better than using like the de facto like mouse and keyboard. Now they support it by default for gamepad, but yeah, years ago it didn't have that. So let's try Void Sales, and we'll try it with mouse and keyboard configured to a controller. Yeah, Schedule 1's fun. It's a good game. I like that game a lot. It was fun. I played a lot of it. I played it for like 20, 30 hours right when it first came out, and I never streamed any of it. I just liked the game that much. I was like, I'm jumping right into it. So yeah, now this is the other thing. Steam Deck defaults for some reason anymore with mouse and keyboard to flick stick. So you have to go in and you should go in and change it to your right stick. So you need to go into edit layout and you need to go to your joysticks and you need to configure your right stick to joystick mouse rather than a flick stick. I don't know why it defaults to that, but now you can see them. It's more like a mouse rather than just, flying across the screen left and right. So we can take a look. You've got 720p. It would be it'd be 800p if it wasn't on my capture card. Your movement, it's pretty simple controls. There's only an interact really and a shield. All right, let's go ahead and hit new game and we'll let it play out a little bit. Onwards. This gives you a little bit of the story. Leonardo Salvatore, renowned explorer and scholar, has vanished in the latest expedition, professional hazard, so to speak. However, this case is of particular interest to me. Seek me in the capital. A ship will await you at the docks. Until then, the man in yellow. So it's got a little bit of this, like, it's kind of like, I guess, a Fallout-esque, asking you questions like, what do you look for, apprenticeship or go to university? I'll go apprenticeship. You get like X amount of resolve out of that. An artisan or alchemist. This is for your perception. We'll do artisan. So we got that. And then what do you want to take with you? How about an old book? So that'll help with my, I forget what it was, gold? Something like that you get more of. Here's our captain. So we'll go with confidence. Sometimes it can be a little touchy. You can even slow that like jerkiness of the mouse around. Like if I wanted to, I could go in and I could just adjust the layout so that the mouse or the joystick, sorry, the right joystick has less sensitivity. So right here. And sometimes you have to watch like how much you actually do move that around. To do it slowly. I see it jumps like really far in like a lot. So if we go 10%, I think it's going to be way too slow. Let's try it. Well, yeah, you can see. I mean, it's super slow. So setting that up the first time, you might want to do it on the screen and then just use your finger to adjust it. Again, a lot of people aren't going to play with a controller connected to it. All right, let's test our vigor. So like a roulette wheel. Is my roll gonna? It's gonna be less, right? Yeah. I think it's automatically gonna be less. Critical success. Resolve 4. Yeah, it's going much slower to move that around. I'm probably gonna have to speed it up just slightly because it does move pretty slow. But you can see this game. I mean, even though it's not a very intense game, it definitely has a little bit of demand on it because it's only running at about 24 frames per second. Let's get out of there. Yeah, that's really slow moving that mouse around. Let me speed that up a little bit. I'm going to put it back to where it was. Some games just, it takes a little bit of time to configure it the way you want. But ultimately, once you get it going, it'll be pretty good. Okay, we're at 275 now is what it's saying.
All right, Captain. It's time for you
Still
to take
running
the
slower.
helm. I see you've already managed to make the ship move.
Now, basically, you're just going to be picking up things, moving them from one area to another, talking to towns. There is combat in the game as far as I know.
Try something different.
It's not massive combat, but there is.
Hey, Mark Cannons, and show 'em what you got.
See if we can aim the cannons here. There we go. Come on. Oh. Am I aiming at the wrong thing? I probably am. And that mouse is still moving like super slow. Give me 1 sec. Right. Where was that thing? Joystick. Right mouse. There it is. I must have grabbed the left mouse or something like that. And thought it was back up to normal. Yeah, much better. Much better. Now it's picked up. I mean, it's going to move around as things are closer. There we go. Oh, I can't even see it now.
Ah, good. See, told you to
There we
be
go.
easy.
We'll take these ones out.
There's more to commanding the ship.
Olympusan.
Now,
Welcome.
let's just keep the course.
Thank you for subscribing. I think on YouTube, right?
Not to explore.
Is that where it came up? Yeah, YouTube.
Next sail next to a pier of this bar. The boys now stay the ship conducting repairs.
I should be able to blow these up. There we go. Don't need to hit anything. So, let's get back to the task at hand. We're going to head over here. Yeah, we just kind of float around a little. It feels floaty in a way, but that's kind of the mechanic. Because you are just flying in the air. There we go. Can I port, dock? Nope, stop. There we go. And then basically the story is told through more of this. There we go. It's like you see this, you do this, right? That type of mechanic. But there's action, like real-time action when you're flying. But you are playing more of an RPG. You know, kind of a traditional one where you have spins, you have to see if you succeed, and then, you know, when you're out there, you can be shooting and firing. Critical success. Let's get out of that one. All right, cool. Yeah, we'll take it. Oh, another spin. I didn't play a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 or anything like that, but I failed, I think, right? Like you had to hit a 64 or lower. Yeah, failure. The floor cracks. You gotta run. And I think we're out of there. Yeah. Back up. There we go. Again, most developers, let's just see. I'm not sure what they say with void sales. I doubt if it was ever optimized for the Steam Deck. That would be my guess. Because again, most developers do not target Steam Deck to be the thing that they're worried about. So this game just came out yesterday. It's from Ticking Clock Games, and it's unknown whether it works with Steam Deck. Obviously it works, but it's not optimized at all. Otherwise, I think if they were to optimize it, this game probably would run at 60 frames per second. So expect that, give them a week, and you know, maybe by next Thursday we'll take a look at it again and see what the game's doing, and it could be running at like 100% improved performance, right? And we could see it like running at 60 frames per second. Usually doesn't take a lot. But yeah, that's my guess. Is this one, they haven't optimized it for Steam Deck. But yeah, you just kind of get to float around the world, and then you can stop in, check out some things, gain some money, do some trading. It's heavy text based, except for when you're flying your actual ship. But yeah, game came out yesterday, and they sent over the key, so thanks to those guys for sending that. We can see what it looks like on here, and it's on sale for like $15.72, which is a weird number. I guess they're charging $18.50 for it as regular price, which again is another weird number. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows why people charge what they charge? We can go in here and deliver some gears. Mining caves. Yeah, again. All right, cool. So, I think, what did we do? We looked at 3 or 4 of the games. What else was there that we were going to look at? I know that V Rising just had a new update. We looked at Dead Zone last week. We looked at Cthulhu Keeper last week. NBA 2K25, if anybody's interested, runs fine. The game pretty much runs at 60 frames per second. If you turn everything to low, there's no issues. It's usually been on sale around the time of the finals. I don't know if it's still on sale. 2K25. Yeah, they have it for $9.79. If you like basketball, it actually is pretty good, especially at under $10. And usually that's how it is every year. They do that. They didn't send that over. I bought that one. Captain Blood, we did that last week. Fireplace Pixel, I don't know why that's still in there. I usually try to keep this thing pretty clean. Schedule 1 runs fine on it. Actually, I don't know. Let's take a look at Schedule 1. I haven't checked into it for a while. And I'm curious if it's running better. It didn't run at 60 frames per second. It actually ran much lower. but it was playable in that sense. So I'm just curious if anything's changed. It's been about a month or more since I've last checked in on it. It says it's still playable, so they may have not have updated anything on it, but let's just see. I'm just testing if there was any new files or anything. And we'll see if it runs. This is a bonus one since we didn't really have a ton of games to look through this week, other than the big one, Doom, which we had a little bit of issue with it running. We can even take a look at it on the 4090 so you can see it running full bore, even though you can't see it in 4K. All right, let's see. We'll try schedule one. And then, like I said, what will happen is we'll probably end this stream about 11:30, and that'll give me time to get everything set up for the other one. If you just kind of hang out here, it'll just take you over to the Elden Ring, or just go find the Elden Ring stream. It'll be on the channel, and that'll start at noon, and we'll go until, I don't know, 4 o'clock at least, 5 o'clock probably. How much time do I have to record on that? Let me look. I actually record everything in 4K so we can put that up on the channel, but I have to keep an eye on how many. Yeah, we've got like 7 hours that we can record. I have to look at how much hard drive space I have. Recording 4K that long takes up a lot of space. I think I have everything set to the lowest settings. Low everything. Okay. Let's see. This is one that's got mouse and keyboard configuration. It'd be nice to see it at 60. I know it wasn't anywhere near that. And they didn't have controller support, so there were some things going against it, but it was fun to play regardless. It was working just fine. Might have to up the... Yeah, the mouse is turning super slow, so this is one where we have to go in. It doesn't look like it's running any better. I can say that. It looks to be about the exact same performance. Let's see, controller. Actually, we could probably do a template now because they probably got it much better. Let's see if we can do... So this one's got a ton of hours played on it. A lot of people voted it up. So let's check that one. From Pepper. Oh yeah, much better. Feels like controller support now. Yeah, that's the beauty of the community stuff. You can always change whatever button you want, but people get their stuff running really smooth. I've done some controller layouts for certain games that don't have them for the Steam Deck, trying to get it done earlier on. This one's actually running really well, and the game's running better. This is 40 frames per second. I don't think it was locked 40 when I played it the last time. It actually seems pretty good. It's got run and all of that where you'd want it, where you press down on the left stick. Everything's intuitive. It feels like a controller game. And that mouse is really smooth on the right analog stick, so yeah. Funny little game. Lots of drug dealing going on. I don't have anything on me either. There's your menu. What you're talking, yeah. They've got this laid out really well. So that Pepper one is pretty good. And here they have it set up to where you can use the mouse and keyboard to do selections. So yeah, I don't have anything stellar. I'm not very good at this. But yeah. So that game's not doing anything different. What was the other one we were going to take a look at? Oh, we were going to look at Doom on the 4090. So let's do that. Give me 1 second to flip that over. And we'll put Doom on here and we can kind of see it like running max settings, see how it performs. So where's Doom? Update to the, oh man, I don't really want to make an update to the drivers. I don't really trust NVIDIA right now on their drivers. We're just going to play. God, so many notices. Yeah, NVIDIA's been doing some weird stuff with drivers. Like they've been screwing it up. I don't know why, but they have. Oh, I probably have to. I guess until I update those drivers, it's probably not going to work, is it? Nah, it's not. I really don't feel like updating them right now. I will mess with that later. I'll put out a video for it. Anything you guys want to see otherwise? I don't know what I've got on here. I'm happy to take requests if I have it running on the machine. Unfortunately for that one, we would have to go through. I guess we could. I don't know. I can try it. Let me try and update those. If I want to check out the game, I'm going to have to do that. Give me 1 second. Let me get out of this and we'll try and update those. I don't even run, like this machine is really clean. I don't even run NVIDIA's software on this thing. I hate doing that. NVIDIA. NVIDIA drivers. TX. So this is. We need GeForce. We need the 40 series. Oh, what the hell's going on? 4090. Windows 11. This is just to be able to. I don't know what it's going to do to the stream while it's downloading. We'll see. Where's my mouse? NVIDIA Studio driver, Game Ready driver. I don't want their software. Yep, just download, start. That's all we want. We don't want anything else. I did play scheduled one. I was just running it a little bit. You can, if you're watching on YouTube, if you jump over there, 30, you can, you should be able to rewind it. I don't think you can rewind on Twitch, but you should be able to rewind it. It's not running any different. It's still about 40 frames per second. And the best thing you can do, they don't officially have any controller support. You can take and grab, I think it was called Pepper was the one of the community layouts, and that one felt like pretty much controller support. Like it felt really solid. I would do that one. But yeah, the game doesn't run 60 frames per second, which it probably could. It's running at about 40 frames per second, which is just fine. But yeah, it was running pretty well. It just hasn't changed. Like it'd be nice to see them go in and do some proper updates for the game for like the Steam Deck or portable devices, but they haven't yet. Sometimes it's a lot faster, sometimes it's a lot slower. So let's do this. All the game itself, the game is great, man. The game is really fun. You'll enjoy it. And like I said, running it on, if you run it on Steam Deck, you'll be fine with it. You'll be happy. Just grab that one Steam community controller layout, and that'll make your experience great. And like I said, 40 frames per second in that game is just fine. There's nothing that they need to do. They could put some effort into it and fix some of the stuff. Like they could have proper controller support, and they could have it running at 60 frames per second if they put the work in. I just want this one, and I always do custom and do a clean. You played about 2 hours. I just haven't had any of your friends that wanted to get on. Hey, I mean, I'm always up for it, man. If there's a time that you're thinking you were going to jump on, we could definitely play it. It's fun. I've never played it co-op, I don't think. Yeah, I only went through and played single player, and I dropped 20 plus hours into the single player side of it just because it was fun. It was really good. Here, let me jump back on screen. Sorry. Yeah, I like it. I think it's a good game. It I don't know why. It seems I know it's similar to Drug Dealer Simulator, but it just I don't know. Seems funner than that. It's a better game. It definitely has charm as drug dealers go. Yeah. I guess the same thing could be said for Breaking Bad. Uh, I do. Well, I'm having to reload this. I'm having to reload, not reload. What am I saying? Update the driver, so that's why the screen's black now. We'll just have to wait until it comes back up. There we go. Sometimes it takes a little bit more time than I'd like, but it'll come up. Motorstown. Oh yeah, you still in playing that one? That one seems pretty good. I haven't tried it myself. This thing always worries me when I'm doing the capture card because sometimes it doesn't like the capture card so much for when it's doing this install. So I'm going to switch this over just really fast. Let me see if it's on the display port. It is. It's loading in. It's still installing the graphic driver, so it's just taking a sec here. I'll switch this back over to Legion Go until that's ready. Let's see. Newer version. Did it install? Yes, it did. Okay. Now it should be back. Give me 1 second to get it back over to where I can see it. There we go. I'm just waiting for Steam. Like I said, Steam. If you have a Steam account, which I think a majority of everybody does here, um, I would go in and change your password just on the safe side. They had a breach, but it wasn't the level of breach that would be of concern to most people. If you have like the mobile app or your authenticator, you should be just fine. Something happened where the phone numbers got leaked or they had that compromised, and then like temporary password that gets sent out but only lasts for like 15 minutes. But this was months ago, but I just went in and changed mine today just to make sure. Okay, cool. Let's see what Doom looks like running on this with 4K. See if it'll run now. I don't know why they got this stupid ass screen. Please get rid of this. Get rid of all of this. There's no reason to have these screens. Put the stuff in game, not in a separate window. Oh, it's still not doing it. What? I don't know. I did hear some issue about Windows on Doom. Some people were having issues. So I might be one of those fortunate people that are having that issue. Let's try to reboot the whole machine. I don't know. I upgraded it. It may not work. Two-factor. Yeah, I mean, the easiest way is just, do you have the Steam app on your phone? If you don't have the Steam app on your phone, you probably don't have two-factor. But they do have another level of two-factor, which is going to your email, and it'll send you a code. It's not like the new authenticators and stuff like that. But you should get a code sent to your email at the bare minimum. But I have the app on my phone and I just use it to scan and log in. So much easier. And nobody, I don't think, can get your, when you have that, I don't think anybody can get your account. I mean, maybe they could. I don't know, but doesn't seem like it. All right, let's see if we can launch Doom again. What kills me is like, and this is not anything specific, but like you have like a top of the line graphics card. This isn't like a 1080, right, from years ago. Like I'm trying to run the damn thing on. And sometimes you just get stuck where you can't run these games. It's like people complain about the Steam Deck. I'm like, you can't even run it on a Windows machine. Even if you have a 4090, it doesn't run. I don't know. Proton experimental, Kyle. I couldn't get it to run. It's not. This is on a Windows machine, by the way. It won't even launch on here. So something went wrong for solutions. Click on this. Such a sad thing. So sad. Yeah, we can't even run it on the Windows PC. What is it doing? Let's see if I can click on that again. Oh, here it is. Notice we detected that you're using a 13th or 14th gen CPU with an older microcoder version. To protect your CPU from potential damage, we recommend updating your BIOS. Look at this. That's ridiculous. Microsoft, shut up. That is stupid. Let's just see what they say. I mean, I could see if it's any other developer saying, like, hey, you're running an issue with your BIOS. This is Microsoft. This company is owned by Microsoft, and they can't get this thing running on a Microsoft PC without having that issue. And Microsoft not fixing it through some firmware update, or not firmware update, through some like update to Windows. De novo. Oh, I wonder if it's a de novo issue. Oh, I may have tried to run it on too many machines. I bet that's it. I bet that's what it is. I've tried to run it on the Legion Go and the Steam Deck within the last like 10 minutes or last 2 hours. I bet that's what it is. It's a de novo issue. It's not the issue of the game running on here. Because I ran it on a Legion Go, which it ran fine. And I tried to run it on Steam Deck, which we had issues. And we did try Proton Experimental. Didn't run. And I think here we're running into that issue. But I do have a 14th gen CPU. So could be that. I don't know. That seems unlikely. I think it's de novo doing it. Yeah, I would just use the app all the time on Steam. That way you never have to worry about it. Because yeah, your Steam library can be pretty expensive, right? Like over time, like buying games. Like you don't want to lose access to that. But we won't be able to make. I won't be able to make a video or anything on Doom for the PC until probably 24 hours from now. If it's that DRM crap from Denuvo. I've had this before with like Assassin's Creed Shadows, was it? No, Outlaws or Star Wars Outlaws. It did the exact same thing when I went to show it on 3 different devices. 2 of them were fine. 1 got booted by Denuvo until the next day. It seems like you can only have 2 running at any one time. But that's okay. I mean, whatever. What are you going to do? I'm not going to worry about it today. I will try to get the Steam Deck video up. If I can get Doom to run on there. Again, I don't know why it wasn't running on that, but it'll run on Legion Go with SteamOS. My guess is it has to be the CPU, or the version, the Z1. Maybe there's something that it's allowing it to do that the version that's on the Steam Deck won't. I have to look further into it. But, yeah, unless you guys want to see anything else, I can jump off a little bit early. At noon, I'll be back on. This stream will automatically roll over to it. But we're going to be doing Elden Ring from like 12 to 5, something like that. So we'll be continuing progress, and that'll be on this PC because it doesn't have Denuvo in Elden Ring, so we should be fine. Elden Ring has been great. I was going to say, even if you guys haven't seen Elden Ring running on I did a video for it, I think, on the Legion Go with SteamOS. I can show you that, what it looks like, the performance you get out of it. Let's just jump in really fast, and we'll take 10 minutes and look at this, or a few minutes, just to burn some time. I was planning to go until about 11:30. And I want to thank everybody who subscribed and, dropped a Twitch Prime or Twitch sub on there. Irumist, Benevolent Beetle, thanks guys for the support. Oh yeah, Kyle, of course. Love streaming. I like doing it. I like to show newer games. We just didn't have a ton of new games. The only other one that came out that I was going to look at doing was Marvel vs. SNK 2, I think it is, that just dropped. But I held off on it. There we go. This is where we left off yesterday. In here, Elden Ring will give you 60 frames per second on the Legion Go running SteamOS. But I don't think it's correct. It's saying it's only running at 10 watts. I think that's wrong. It's running higher than that. It's running at like 35, I think. I don't know why it's showing like 8, 9. Something seems off on it. Let's see. Let's go and check out the overworld. I haven't shown any videos with it running in the snowfields. Or not the snowfield, the Giants area. So let's go up there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Legion Go will run. Now, this is on the lowest setting, though, if I'm not mistaken. It's 1280 by 800, and I think it's on low. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, everything's off. Grass quality's maybe a little bit higher, but yeah, I mean, 60 frames per second while you're traveling. This is pretty much what you were thinking, Jesse. It doesn't look bad. I mean, it's not as pretty as like what you could get like on a PS5, but I mean, it looks just fine and the game runs, and it's portable and an amazing adventure. It's hundreds of hours long. Oh no, the birds. Run for the church. Run for the church. Oh, I wish we could still fight. Well, these guys are big enough. Let's check them out. They're taking a majority of the screen. Cool, already died. I mean, in that battle with that bird, although it was very short-lived, 51 frames per second is roughly where it was sitting at. It's not going to hold 60, but it's not horrible. We could up the fidelity a little bit. Let's see what it'll do at 1080. If we can stay above 40 frames per second at 1080, it might be worth even, you know, kind of playing it with the extra quality. Although 1280 wasn't bad to get 60 frames per second in the majority. You might even be able to tweak some stuff and run 1280 at like high settings or something. Let's try this guy. This big guy. Oh, Jesus. I just stomped a mud hole. 50. Yeah, I mean, it held pretty well. It didn't drop down to like 30, even when he was crushing me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Let's see if we spin around. Not bad. What if we were to go... Let's go 1280 by 7... It'll be 720 here, but 1280 by 800 if you were to play it. But then let's up to high. No ray tracing. $1280 by 720 on high res or on high quality. Yeah, in the 50s still, like mid to upper 50s. It's not bad. Not everywhere. Like if you're fighting, I would have to think if you're doing the Radon Festival, probably it's going to drop. I'd think it'd have to drop. But I don't think it's going to drop below like 30 frames per second during that. But this is an area, like, I don't know if many people would have shown it on these types of devices. In like a really far part of the game. Performance, yeah, it can be tough. Performance, yeah, it can be tough. Now, also, I will say From Software has done a lot of work optimizing this game because it didn't run this well when it first started out. Ooh, he got me. When they first, it was still running well, but it wasn't running this well. But yeah, the 10 watts, don't believe that. That just up in the right-hand corner, that doesn't seem right. It seems like, I mean, it is plugged in right now, but I can't imagine. Like the 18 watts looks more realistic. I think the thing's got to be running. I mean, if it's running this well, I can't unplug it from the thing or it'll screw it up. I was going to say unplug it from the wall. I mean, if it was giving you this much performance, it'd be blown away that you could be playing Elden Ring for like 5 hours on a battery charge. I think you're only going to be able to play it for an hour and a half at best. If you're lucky, maybe an hour and 15. But this is pretty nice. in comparison, when you see it on noon, we'll be running it at like 4K on my end, and the stream will be at 720. Right now it's 1080p on my end, and the stream's at 720. So, yeah, doesn't look bad. Okay, cool. I am going to jump off then, folks. Appreciate everybody for joining another New Release Thursday. Unfortunately, we'll see what's going on with Doom with the Steam Deck and see if I can figure that out. And I'll update everybody with a video on the channel. But otherwise, if you want to hang around, this will automatically go over to the Elden Ring stream that's going to start at noon. But you can also just check out the channel. And the stream will be up on Twitch, on Kick, and on YouTube all at the same time. And we'll be taking off where I left off, which, let's get our guy back here, which is in the capital. We're going through the bottom where Moog was. Can you remember, was it this one? Forsaken Depths? May have been. Yeah, hopefully we can get some more progress and get into the snow boss and stuff like that. I'll be looking forward to that. But yeah, this was, we'll try we'll try double slash out most of the day, unless we can get arcane up and then start messing around with bloody slash. I'm gonna get me right down. I forget the name of this one down here. But yeah, inside here, 60, no problem. 60 frames per second. Let's rest there, and then we'll pause it. Okay, cool. All right, everybody. I will talk to you in about a half hour. Hope everybody has a good lunch, if that's what you're doing. Otherwise, let's reconvene in 30. All right, thanks, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.